Hey everybody, welcome to Snow Talk. Waythrough News meteorologist Brian Good here on this Wednesday. Back to my normal shift finally, and good timing too because we have a new face with us for the rest of the winter season into the spring. This is Cody Moore. Welcome, Cody, our newest weather intern. Tell us, first off, where you go to school, where you're from, a little bit about yourself so everybody can stalk you on Twitter.
Well, my name is Cody Moore. I am a junior at U of L. I'm studying atmospheric science. I want to take the broadcast track with this, so I love the weather and I want to pursue the TV portion as well.
That's good. Mm-hmm. You're in a good spot for that.
I'm from New York. I've lived there for 9 years.
Okay, I can hint on the accent a little bit there.
Live on Long Island.
Long Island. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
And then I've lived here since 2007, so I've been here for the big weather events like the ice storm, Hurricane Ike, Henryville tornado. So those are definitely.
And we've been talking to you in general since how old were you when we first?
I first met you guys in 2009. I came to the station and met Kevin Harder. That was before you were even here.
That was before I was even here,
yeah,
right?
So since I was 13 years old.
Yeah, so we've been in touch with him quite often. He's very knowledgeable on a lot of the model data as well as the meteorological concepts. So he's already done a lot of the groundwork, which makes my job a lot easier working with him every day. But you'll see his posts sometimes on social media, on our Facebook page, and on Twitter. And, of course, sometimes we'll be doing the blog, so make sure to look for that. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Cody. All right, well, I'm going to get right into the details here. First off, the stats haven't changed much, still 2.6 normal to date. 3 systems that we're watching, and the first one is not too difficult to nail down. It's the second and third one that are a little more of a challenge. In fact, I think even Cody was getting gray hair. Looking at the data on those. So we'll cover all that in a second. First off, though, I do want to mention we do have this weak Clipper type system. It's more of a short wave. A lot of meteorologists call them disturbances because they're just disturbing as they move through the area. They're not very strong at all, but it's producing some flurries and light snow. Wouldn't be surprised if those of you to the north see a little bit of light snow out of this. The thing is, we're going to have a warm front that's going to move through later on tonight from the south. That is really going to kick up that south flow. At the same time, it's going to increase our moisture. And the models are trying to, or at least some of the soundings we're getting from the model data is indicating some moisture, low-level moisture, may try to get evected into the area, and we could see either fog or drizzle. Now, a lot of the models are not even showing this. When you model watchers are looking at all the maps, you're like, what are you talking about? I don't even see anything listed here. It is very, very light. It's not a major event, but when it comes to freezing drizzle, it does open our eyes up because freezing drizzle, it doesn't matter how much falls. Even a little bit can cause problems on the roadways, and we've been very cold as of late. So it is worth watching. Just know we're watching it, and of course, we'll keep you updated on the newscast this evening, and Kevin will have an update at 11 o'clock. Right now, we're 29. It's at freezing in our southern counties, but only 16 at Seymour, where the deeper snowpack is. But here are the soundings that I was talking about. Here's the GFS, and how you read this. Here's ground level, go all the way up. This is where the airplanes fly, way above, all right? What I'm looking at here is the red line is your temperature line, and the green is the moisture line. When they're close together, you are saturated. You get clouds, you get, in some cases, precipitation. And you notice that on the GFS, very dry air above us. We have that right now. But we begin to moisten up as we head toward 3 to 5 a.m. Here is the freezing line right over the arrow, and right now it's keeping us to the right of it. At the surface, temperature-wise, which means this would be just plain drizzle. The NAM model, it isn't as saturated. It still has some dry air to overcome, but it does, if you look carefully, it's hard to see, I know, but the red line is to the left of the zero. It still keeps us below freezing, which would indicate more of a freezing drizzle possibility. So far, we're trending in between the two on the data, comparing to this, the real-time data, so it is something we'll watch, but again, it's not going to be a huge deal, but if it's freezing drizzle, it can be problematic for the rush hour, and that's what we are going to be watching. Let me show you an example of why the models we can see this, because it's picking up the flurries to the north, but later on tonight, when we're supposed to have the drizzle, all it indicates, if you look carefully, a little hint of gray, a little bit of cloud cover develops, and that could be the fog and low-level moisture there. So the model's trying to pick up on it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this trend more and more in that direction as we get more updates. But it's going to be a brief period because we're going to warm up quickly in the morning hours. So if we have any type of freezing drizzle, I'm only talking about maybe an hour or two, Cody? Maybe. At that, yeah. Not a big deal. So it's a very short duration event because we're going to be around 50, if not mid-50s in some areas by tomorrow afternoon. And then we'll stay in the 50s with rain as our next system coming in as we head into Friday. In fact, here is the GFS. Now I'm going to show you the GFS model in the next several runs here from Weather Bell. Keep in mind, I don't agree with a lot of this, and I'll explain. First off, for the weekend system here, here's Friday. It's trending more on the idea that the main low is going to be way up to the north in Michigan, so a split system, not phased. That's good for the Northeast. They're breathing a sigh of relief on that because this is the one that brings the cold air. This is the moisture supplier. Because they're not touching, the Northeast could get quite a whipping when it comes to high winds and maybe some heavy rain, but the moisture supplier, or the cold air supplier, excuse me, is going to be too far away to really make it a true nor'easter with a blizzard. So they are going to lock out. We will get the rain from that as it passes on by, and then wrap around moisture, change into snow showers and snow flurries late Friday night, probably after midnight through Saturday. A dusting. I really don't see this being a big deal when it comes to accumulations on the backside of this. And we'll watch it, but anything probably be grassy. But here's the problem. When we head into Sunday night and Monday, the GFS is picking up another wave, and it has for the past 3 days now indicated a decent low pressure moves across the southern part of the country. The Euro and the Canadian have it in the southern tip of Florida near the Keys as a little bit of light rain. That is it. And it's important because this is a very strong southern low. This would mean a snowstorm for the southern states, which I'm sure they're not excited to see this. But snow showers from that will move through the area. But at the same time, we do have an Arctic front. Now, the other two models agree with the GFS, and the Arctic front is coming down on Sunday, but they do not have this strong storm here in the southeast. So right now, the GFS is an outliner. We will monitor that. Either way, we turn sharply colder, falling temperatures into the teens and single digits by Sunday night. And then as we get into about a week from today, we run into another system that's going to roll on out. Question is, how quickly does it roll out in our area? And secondly, how warm do we get ahead of it? How much of a warm front are we going to have? Because the GFS says the warm front is going to get hung up over Kentucky, and because the Arctic air is more dominating, which we've seen many times. Cold air, Arctic air, is heavy. It's slow to move out. It's like a snail. Trying to move it out of the way takes a lot of force. And sometimes the warm air, in most cases actually, warm air is easier to move. So the warm air will blast in next week, but if it goes on top of the cold air before it can push it out, you run into more of a sleet and freeze and rain scenario. And that is something we'll have to watch and see how this will all play out. Again, this will be about a week from today or so that this will begin to take place. The GFS brings it in as a wintry mess to start with. It goes over to all rain, and then it ends again as an accumulating snow next Friday. And let me show you the differences in the models here. Here's the GFS again in a wider view. Here's the Louisville area. Again, it's giving us kind of a warning shot here of some snow flurries, snow showers as we head into Wednesday, a week from today. It's really strong with the high here off to the north. But look, at the same exact time period, here is the Euro. Much different. It does not have as much of a deep trough here in the east and shows the warming trend. It does show the warning shot of moisture moving through, but the Euro would indicate more drizzle, and the GFS would indicate more flurries. And then when the main low rolls out, again, this is what you just saw, but this is a wider view. The GFS has the low pressure moving over the area with backlash snows. Again, it's about the 22nd or so of January. And then here is the Euro for the same time period. More of a separate system. In fact, it tries to cut off the cold air supplier and becomes an upper level low with snow showers and cold air, but nothing that dramatic. So the models are not in our favor right now as far as green at all next week. So we're going to trend that with a lot of caution as we head into time. I think I had one more model to show you guys here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I lost that model. I apologize. But there is another system that shows up about a week later toward the end of the month. So we'll keep an eye on the weekend system, but I think the biggest drama, really, Cody, is going to be Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
That temperature crash. I mean, 25 in the morning on Sunday and probably 10 to 12 by sunset.
Yeah,
That's going to
cold.
hurt. That's going to hurt. And then wind chills will be brutal as well. So Monday morning, it's a holiday Monday, so a lot of you are not going to have to work. There's no school. But Monday morning looks very, very cold. But the question is, how quickly does that cold air leave us Sunday and Monday? And that will set the stage for the next system about a week from today. And that's why I don't want to go with too much detail yet. It's still early. All right. Thanks, Cody. Welcome aboard. And you'll see more of him. And I will see you guys at 5:30 and 7:30 tonight. Have a good one.